We start with breaking news first from our 8 News Now investigators. Metro Police confirming they searched a home Monday as part of the ongoing investigation into the death of Tupac Shakur, the rapper who was shot and killed 1 block off the Las Vegas Strip in September of 1996. Sources say detectives served the search warrant at a home in Henderson near Interstate 11 and Wagon Wheel Drive. No one is in custody at this time. We'll keep you posted as we learn more.
You know what? I want to say something, right? We in this time and we in this era where everybody want to be a tough guy and everybody want to be gangster and everybody want to glorify doing some gangster shit, right? But there come a time where the shit just need to stop, especially when you reach a certain age and if you no longer living that life, if you're no longer participating in those activities, if you're no longer outside doing that type of shit. When you see all these young boys making the music, the younger generation, they just as confused too. You know, my generation was different. When we grew up, everybody wanted to be a thug. Everybody wanted to be street guys and tough guys coming up. We did a lot of dumb shit. We did a lot of shit. And some of us got away with a lot of shit. A lot of people did. But we didn't want to be glorified for that. We didn't want the world to know what was going on. We tried our best to keep that shit under wraps. Ain't nobody like, oh, nah, we ain't, know what I mean? So everybody wasn't running around trying to let everybody know what was going on, right? Fast forward a little bit, you got the next generation. The youth is just bugged out. The music is different. Access to things is different. See, when we was young, everybody didn't have access to all these type of guns and then shit with it, with accessories. Might I add you, switches and all that crazy extendeds, and some of that shit was around, but you know how hard it was to get your hands on that type of shit back in those days? Early 90s, I ain't even that old. Early 2000s, mid 2000s, shit was real different. The 90s was different. You didn't hear about all that type of shit going on. The music wasn't the same. That's because it was being generated equally. You heard R&B, you heard jazz, you heard different forms of R&B, you heard different forms of love in music. Rappers linking up with the R&B singers making crazy wild hits that's still relevant to this day. But then you got the older guys, old, 70s and the 80s, the ones that was active then. They didn't even want to be glorified for the shit. But now that cameras is a major thing and everybody got access to cameras. Everybody running social media. Everybody have to prove theyself that they about that life. They with the shits. They stand on business. They do all this other shit, right? So some people that find themselves on the outside of that looking in want to tell their stories too. I used to do X, Y, and Z. I used to do X, Y, and Z. Those are the people that's still lost. Those are the ones that's out of here. Prime example of who I'm talking about. Keefe D. 60 years old. And he want to brag about what they allegedly did to Tupac, right? The world loves Tupac. The world loves Biggie Smalls. Those 2 cases are still open. I don't think, it's some people that will never sleep until they get some answers. We talk about something that happened almost 30 years ago. 96, 97. Pac died 96, Big died 97. You know how Vlad and these interviewers, and they want to get to what happened, and you was there, or you here, and what goes on, or you related to such and such that was there. How close are you, the closer you, the close, you get what I'm saying? Keefe D decides he want to get on Vlad and all over YouTube and these platforms to glorify his role in the situation. You watch the interviews, he's smiling when they asking him what happened to Tupac, glorifying what happened in all these situations. All that dumb shit. He want to be super gangster and all this tough guy activity. He want the world to know what he want the world to know that he has some involvement, that he's some kind of gangster, and he was doing this with the mob, and he was doing this, selling these kind of drugs. Mind you, he's 60 years old. He bragged about how his nephew killed Tupac and how he gave his nephew the gun to kill Tupac, knowing that this case is still open. So, Police raided his house. He was talking about how he wasn't going to jail for this and all this other shit in these interviews. The case is still open. Tupac got shot in Vegas in 1996 and died in the hospital a few days later. They shot Pac in Vegas after a fight that happened and all the shit. Niggas done stomped somebody out. They allegedly caught Pac at the light. Him and Suge shot the car up. Hit Suge, hit Pac a few times, which ultimately led to the death of Tupac. You get on the internet glorifying these situations. This is the thing. We're in a time where everybody want to be known for the wrong things. It's like if you on the right path to doing the right thing, the niggas want to look at you like you're a sucker, or people worry about you. Let me tell y'all something. Please apply this to your everyday life. People's opinions on you shouldn't matter. If ain't nobody harming you, your family, your finances, and there's no reason for you to even be worried about what somebody think of you. If nobody thinks you a gangster, then so what? Why you gotta prove it? If nobody think you a tough guy, then so what? But everybody want to be glorified in these situations. You got all the youth listening to this stupid music. I do music myself, so I don't want to sit here and downplay what nobody else got going on. But technically, it's not helping nobody. They listening to this music and they becoming brainwashed. Everybody want to be a tough guy. Everybody want to be a gangster. Kids is killing kids. People like weirdo Keefe D. He never grew up. He don't sound like he got it all, but apparently he never grew up. Now that this is a whole nother part of an investigation, of an open investigation, I've been open for damn near 30 years. You want to glorify with your nephew and you being some kind of gangster and all this Southside Crip and all this, you selling drugs and doing this with the mafia and this, that, all that stupid shit you were saying on Vlad. Now look at you. They might lock your stupid ass up. You up there lying and saying all this stupid shit. A lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people think another power of a higher power got rid of Tupac. I heard all type of shit. I heard Tupac wasn't dead, that he in Cuba still. And if you look on the internet, they show pictures and all type of crazy shit that's allegedly Tupac. Who knows? Suge Knight said Pac ain't even dead. A lot of people think Pac ain't dead. Who the fuck knows? Keefe D is stupid. That simple. If y'all did that shit to Pac or whatever and y'all got away with it, why get on the internet and think you gonna tell that story like it's okay? There's no statute of limitations on shit like that, bro. But you old and you want to look like a gangster still. You want to glorify what you used to do and you want people to believe that shit. It is what it is, man. You want to be weird? Weird shit happen to you. All that weirdo energy comes right back to the weirdos. You know that, right? Weirdos can't get away from weirdo energy. Y'all be safe. Y'all be smart. And guide the youth to do something else, man. It's cool that they can like music. Ain't nobody telling them not to like music. Nobody telling them not to pursue it. But as a parent, if you know your child is making this type of fucking music, you should stop allowing that. Unless you in on that and you the one that taught them that ignorance. I don't know. But y'all need to get it together. Or forget it forever. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, get notified, take this ride.